Hey there, I'm behind the scenes of the 3800 series of Love of Quilting with my Pfaff guest, Debbie Keenan-Baker, and she has done a couple of really fantastic episodes that I can't wait for you to see, but Debbie's got lots of skills and lots of information to share. So I thought that we could spend a little bit of time chatting about free motion quilting.
Oh, it's so popular to do free motion, and there are so many options of feet now.
Right.
So, when I go into the machine, I see an icon on my screen that says free motion. And when I touch it, I have 4 choices that come up for free motion feet.
Right.
But there really are more than even those 4. So one that it talks about is the Sensormatic free motion foot, and that is this one.
Okay.
Comes with the machine.
Right.
There's also an echo foot, a little bit larger, better visibility, but you see those circles on the foot.
Right.
They're there so that you can kind of keep them even with lines that you're trying to quilt by.
Okay.
Now, what makes these similar is the fact that both of these feet float. So, and by that I mean they kind of hover over the quilt. They're not hopping in any way. Now, I sometimes find that when somebody is first getting to do free motion, that these are sometimes the better choices.
Okay.
Because you're not trying to, keep your speed right, move your hands at and then watch
As
the
that
foot
foot's
go up
bouncing.
and down.
Yeah.
So a lot of times for beginners, these are easy feet.
Okay.
Then you get ones that say dynamic spring foot and spring action feet. These are feet that hop. So this is one we're all very familiar with if you've been doing free motion or darning for any length of time.
It looks like your traditional free motion foot.
Right. It has a spring. It has a piece that goes over the needle bar, and that's what makes the foot hop up and down. This is another type of free motion foot that hops. This one it's called an open toe. It's got a very large opening here.
Right.
Plus it has those marks in the corner. So again, if you're trying to follow a quilt pattern or echo, and you like a foot that hops, that's an option.
Got a couple of choices.
Yeah. Now, ruler work is also getting to be very, very popular. And at first it was pretty much done only on long arms.
Right.
So now we can do the ruler work on domestic machines as well. And so we actually have a ruler foot that was developed specifically for this machine.
Yeah, and keep in mind when you're working with a ruler work foot, this is not meant for this type of a ruler, like for rotary cutting, because it could potentially end up under the foot, right?
Right.
So you really are working with your thicker free motion rulers, and it's about the same depth of the foot, right?
It is.
Nice.
So again, this is not a foot that hops because again, if you're using something that goes up and down, you run the risk of putting, that ruler going underneath the foot and your needle striking the ruler and either damaging your ruler or damaging your machine. So it is very important that when you go into the machine that you do select the correct foot.
And what is the machine adjusting?
Well,
when you
it's
select
adjusting,
that?
okay, so it knows whether the presser foot is going to stay at an even distance from the fabric.
Okay.
And when you go into those settings, you actually can raise and lower it. So again, if my foot is dragging on my quilt, I may need to raise the height a little bit if it's just hovering over the fabric.
And maybe you'll find that with thicker battings,
Yes.
or if you've got a lot of surface embellishment.
Right,
maybe?
or you have a lot of seams and that kind of stuff. So when you select a foot, so I'm just going to go ahead and say my spring action. So I'm going to touch that, and you heard that sound? It automatically dropped my feed dogs for me. So I don't have to go in and drop a specific lever. And so that makes it, again, easier to set up.
It's nice that everything's automatic. You push a button, tell the machine what you want to do, and it takes care of everything for you, adjusting your foot height, dropping those feed dogs, making sure you'll have a beautiful stitch.
Yeah. I mean, they make it effortless for us anymore.
That's right. So do you have a favorite?
I kind of lean towards this one most of the time. I've been free motioning enough that I like that spring action, but I like the visibility that I get with the large opening on the foot.
Neat. Well, thanks for giving us a few extra tips, and I hope that all of you will experiment with all of your free motion feet to get the flow and figure out which you like the best.